playlist that I made, and it's not even an '80s song.
The jitterbug. The jitterbug. That's Big D's top 80s, you said?
It was in my well, no, I put it on the '80s playlist, but I don't believe it's an '80s song.
It's probably early 90s.
Right.
But dude, that's like if I were to wrestle, if I was somebody if I was like a Brock Lesnar big guy,
Uh,
like Punk's got cult of personality, I'm gonna be like, can I have Jitterbug, please?
is it so? All right. So now I thought about it after the
Can you
fact.
imagine that?
Well, you had mentioned that you loved that song.
Yeah.
Now, originally, was it because you thought he was related to Shawn Michaels?
No. That would be funny. No. No, no, no.
No,
Uh
I was just,
nah,
I didn't think it
dude.
was cool, but
I
I
don't
thought
know
that was
why
it.
it's such a happy song, bro. That's a happy song. Wake me up before you go. Come on, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
It's about fun.
that's what one
I
night stands should be.
Dude, I just want to like Brock Lesnar, just like before he made his return at SummerSlam. I
Mhm.
just picture like you got ramen noodles, which is this is a perfect segue because we were just about to talk about Roman Reigns
So, yeah, I was gonna
and
say.
Brock Lesnar. Uh, I could just picture that song, just the jitterbug, the jitterbug, and everyone's like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then Brock Lesnar walks out in his uh, woodsman outfit, and he's gonna chop some wood. And it's like maybe he's got like a dominatrix thing collar on or some shit,
Oh man, now
and
you're.
he's pulling himself to the ring, like and he's got an apple for ramen. He's gonna put it in his mouth. There's all kinds of inferences there, or up his ass, whatever. It's the same thing. Uh
Never mind.
but with that in mind, I would like to segue to what I consider I've been harping on WWE storytelling for last year, or ever since we started our podcast, really. So maybe a year and a half now.
Mhm.
And dude, this whole game with Paul Heyman,
Yeah, yeah.
that's good, right? That's good storytelling right
Did
there.
you did
Because
you, did you see the SmackDown?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that was
Yeah.
awesome. He's
It's like,
like,
oh,
"What are you, some kind of dumbass?" And he's like, well, I actually read the contract this morning and I signed it by the recommendations of my advocate. And he just walked out. So like I
yeah.
love I love the mind games that they're playing.
Uh-huh.
Oh, dude, love it. See that second level, but
Well,
why is that there? Is because they developed that. They developed it, and he's been with Brock Lesnar, and he's kind of
right.
got that New Day thing where he was really with Brock Lesnar, and he was devoted to him. And it's Paul Heyman. He can sell that. He can sell
Hmm.
that angle. But they've been
Hmm.
together for a long time, and it's like they're playing off of that, and it's beautiful, dude. It's
Oh, it
fantastic.
is. Yeah, I agree. And opening is like it's like Brock Lesnar like is almost a little bit like a butterfly right now because he's on his own. He's talking on his own. He's always been like that. I don't know, funny guy when he has to be. But it's just like you're just seeing a little bit of a different, a little more of that side this time around. Like he's doing the getting in his brain and like he's just having fun, just messing with him, or is he not? We don't really know. Like that's the thing. Like you can't. Firstly, you can't tell with Brock if he's telling the truth or lying, and same thing goes with Heyman. Dude, I mean, I don't know, but whenever and whatever's gonna happen,
Whatever, whenever.
No. Yeah, I am
Yeah,
shaking my
Shakira. He's doing Shakira.
shaking my
Woo!
Shakiras over here.
He's
Um,
shaking his Shakiras. Yes.
um,
You should,
but
oh,
whenever Heyman does what he's gonna do or whatever, it's gonna be epic. Um, and
I
don't think
really hope
it's
they keep it past this. I really hope they
they.
keep it past the crown jewel.
I think I mean I'm pretty sure, I know that they're I shouldn't say no because you never know anything, but I do think they're planning on that. Um, we'll see how far it goes, and if they can keep developing. I mean, if we're seeing a story that Brock Lesnar can be himself, Roman be himself, like their gimmicks wise or character wise, like, and they both feel their characters and mesh well. Like, this could be a freaking amazing feud. Like this could be like Rock Austin kind of. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard not to. It's because you can't
A,
compare it like that because there's just
a man,
two different eras and all that.
a good storytelling can elevate any feud, man, and not just elevate any
Right.
feud, but it can elevate the people in the feud, the wrestlers in the feud. So,
Right.
and Ramen has definitely been proven uh, to be a great heel. So
Mm-hmm.
it's exciting, man. That's really like I'm excited about that match. Like I want to watch Crown Jewel for that match. With
Right.
that with that being said, uh, the, like I look at WWE, I'm like, hey, so these guys do actually indeed care about storytelling, and
Mm-hmm.
what stories are actually developing that are good,
Yeah.
and those stories are things that have sat on the roster, have sat on the in the card or in the years, like have sat for a long time, have stewed for a while.
Right.
And it's like the potential of Xavier Woods, the potential of anytime they're going to start breaking up New Day. I was like, I don't necessarily want them to break up because, like, I think that's kind of a part of it, but uh, the part of their coolness is really like loyalty amongst family, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but when that breaks up, that's going to be like King of Thrones shit. I hope, you know. And the same with this. Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar have had a long-standing relationship, and Paul Heyman has showed incredible loyalty to Brock Lesnar, and then now this with Roman Reigns. I mean, it's great.
Oh
So
yeah. Yeah.
if you have those longer stewing, obviously you can't have all long stewing relationships because you're constantly bringing in talent, and you're trying different things with, but like I think that Nakamura, and if he stayed with someone long, like with Mr. Boobs, if he stayed with Boobs for a while, and they were just really a badass team with a show, you know, bless you. Uh, I mean, there's potentials there. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not like WWE is just writing shitty storylines for everything, but it seemed
Right.
like that was just a prevailing thing lately. And then this Brock Lesnar feud, ever since Brock Lesnar showed up. But then Brock Lesnar is also he's an elevated star.
Right.
He's one of those. He would be the one I would actually refer to as a superstar.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
I don't like
Definitely.
WWE superstars. Yeah, no, no. I mean, that's not. I don't know any of these people individually. I don't know who they are outside. Like I have to say that.
Well, I mean, you
But
also have
great
to take that
story.
with a you can take that with a grain of salt because they're targeting the children more with that.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. Well,
You know.
I mean,
Sure.
imagine like the shock. It's like telling kids Santa doesn't exist.
Well, yeah, that shock is real, dude.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Because like
What? Remember?
when you say WWE superstars, I always go back to Saturday morning. The
Cartoons or
no, but WWE
like, yeah,
superstars.
gotcha. Yeah.
Uh, Saturday after the cartoons. I think it might have been on like at noon or something. That's what I always go back to. And, uh, but anyway,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Brock would definitely be the. I mean, there's a couple. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but Brock is clearly the one that you can do that with. Um, but the only way that makes Brock, at least in the ring and stuff, is put someone that is believable against him.
I mean,
Um,
I don't know how big Ramen Noodles is.
mhm.
But I mean, he does match up with Brock Lesnar. He's slightly shorter, slightly smaller, but not that
Oh yeah.
much.
Well, I mean, shoot, even Brock versus Rollins, you know, those were really good matches. Even though looking, you're like, no way, like that's not no. But Rollins has those ways of getting the advantage, and that's all part of telling the story.
But the
Yeah.
feud I enjoyed there was actually Moxley versus
Yep.
Lesnar.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, same
I
thing.
loved how it was just constantly like he never gave up, man. He's like, this dude is insane, and he sold it. Like, what the hell? You keep asking Brock Lesnar to beat the shit out of you, and he just kept going back for it, kept going back for it. And I forget which pay per view they were on, but they had a match, and it's like Brock Lesnar's just cocky because Moxie's so much
Hmm.
smaller than he is, and then Moxie just pulled out chairs and kendo sticks and just fuck Brock up, man.
Uh-huh.
And then and for a second there, you start believing. You say, "Shit, he can pull this out." You
Right.
know,
Right.
he can all off, not out.
You know, because like that's what I kind of get with, and so I guess another way of saying it is with Brock, you had and who to put him with. That's people who can tell that story
Yeah.
and make it believable. Because Brock is just, I mean, there's a reason Brock was a champion for it felt like almost a whole decade. Because there's nobody that made
Cena.
sense. And to right, and they did their thing, but
Mhm.
there's one person during that time. Well, it just seemed like there wasn't anything anyone believable to
And
be a competition.
and Brock beat uh Ramen more, right? I think it's pretty. It's shifted towards his like the
Right,
winning record.
right, and that's where like this. I mean, I think in the end of things, this is going to be kind of a
Passing the
little rub,
torch.
a little rub off kind of thing. I mean, that's just what everything is building up around, and as far as um, beating the demon. Demon's never lost, but Ramen did, but not, yeah, something happened, but whatever. And then just eventually, I mean, they're just building them up, and they're making it seem. I mean, we can go back. I mean, it's been over 400 days that he's been champion. We can go back to when he had to start this reign, and we're already kind of thinking like, how long is he going to have this, and is he going to have it for a whole year? And it's just like, how is he? But they've done such a good job of having him have this long run with it, not do not get with us not really getting bored, um, with his storylines and all that. They keep evolving, and even the little short ones like with Ballard, it wasn't really like gripping or anything like that, but they made it gripping enough to get past another month or so.
Well, I mean,
Um,
there was some shit advertised, and yeah, their whole last month was very much like, okay, let's just get it over the finish line,
right.
and so I did not appreciate that as a fan, but it's like whatever. I see. So Ramen and Brock Lesnar have fought 5 times,
Mm.
6 matches in total, 3 singles, 2 triple threats, and 1 fatal 4-way. But overall, Ramen won 2, Brock Lesnar won 3.
Okay.
So it seems more like 3-1 actually, because I think one of them was a four-way. Um, but yeah, Ramen is gonna have to win sooner or later, and
Right.
the only way this would even get even more interesting is if there's some exterior or an incident that keeps Paul Heyman out of the match,
Hmm.
and Ramen wins, or I don't know, maybe yeah, well, it's a Universal Championship, so that's I'm not exactly sure, and this is what's exciting about it for me. Like I don't know where they're gonna go with it, and it's just exciting. It's exciting
Right.
to the story, yeah. So, see, Ramen can be in well, he's shown definitely that he can be in feuds, and I mean, just what a difference since he came back, man. What a difference.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, I don't know how long has it been since I read that letter to him.
That was like one
It's
of our
probably
very
it's almost ever
first
since I confessed my
pay-per-views.
love. He must have been
Yes,
really motivated,
yes.
and you know,
Well, he
he's
wanted to
like, you
be
know
on
what?
your good side, because
I'm
even
gonna.
despite his size, he still won't.
Oh, he looks great. I mean, hey, his music changed, his entrance changed,
I
just
don't like his music,
everything changed.
but I think
I mean,
that's
I don't
part of
mind
it.
it. I don't mind it just because it's like that. Yeah, it's that music where you can walk slow and you can just take it all in, and the crowd can just boom like crazy and all that. I don't like the way that he. I don't like. I don't know why I don't like. But I think it's maybe his pants.
The answer is his pants.
His pants are like just those. Yeah, his
That would be
pants
that would be a great storyline right there.
because they're
We
like
just
skinny. They're like skinny jeans, but they're not jeans. They're just.
they're those like cargo looking pants with the
I don't
freaking
know.
pockets and shit.
You can see his ankles. I don't know. It's just that part. Just I don't know. As far as appearance wise,
But
um,
he's still keeping that Shield business thing going, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Eh, eh.
But hey,
Great storyline. Excited about the
there hasn't been
match.
anything. I haven't said anything bad about Ram in a long time.
We haven't, no. We
Yeah.
haven't.
So more power to him.
Heck yeah,
Um,
man.
I mean, like
Good on you.
as far as Crown Jewel goes, though, like we're really getting either we're getting like a lot of finishing, not even feuds, but like just I don't know, like we're getting um, Biggie versus McIntyre.
Yeah.
Big E's on Raw now, or going to be on Raw officially after this. McIntyre's going to be on SmackDown. So like this is like a Big E's going
Send
to come
off.
on top, but you had Drew McIntyre who pretty much dominated for almost a whole year, um, or almost a year and a half, whatever. But he's been at the top. Big E's like just at getting to the top now, and now he's going to go over Drew, and they'll have their send off, and Drew can go and go do his thing with the Reigns or even
Yes.
Lesnar, whatever.
Before you get
But
too far on
yeah,
Crown Jewel,
I won't.
unless you
Yeah.
had a point.
No.
Oh. But that made it sound bad. Unless, do you have a
Oh
point, Big
no, it
D?
was just because you mentioned about the just storytelling and all that,
Yeah.
and I think we're just like we're gonna get the RK Bro versus Styles and Omos. I think we're gonna get the last of
So,
that.
so basically, it's kind of like the finish, the complete finish of storylines. Which I do want to ask a question then of you. If that's the case, then wasn't WrestleMania supposed to be like the end of a season?
It should be yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. Because like that's like the World Series of wrestling. But then the season premieres of the shows. Like season premiere of SmackDown was 2 weeks ago. Raw was season premiere was last week, I think. Um, yeah, I don't know,
So
and
so it shifted.
I'm not sure when they used to do the drafts in like 2000s. I'm not sure if that was like closer to WrestleMania or not. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but as far as the storyline goes, as far as Goldberg, okay, whoops. Oh, as far as Lesnar and Ramen, I think that's with Paul Heyman. Like I talk a lot of smack about storytelling in WWE, and I have to give him credit where credit's due. And damn, dude, I'm excited about that to see how it develops, and I'm okay with being strung on for a little longer, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with that. But as far as that goes, yeah, it's obviously not all storylines are bad, and the ones that have been developed, that have been developing for a while, that have stewed, have obviously shown themselves to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you got like Rollins and Edge. That storyline's been going on for a decent amount of time.
That storyline is like after SmackDown. That storyline for me is a little. I'm kind of like, okay, you can't go. How much further can you go from Hell in a Cell?
Well,
And
that's one.
the stakes are at a death level.
Well, that's no, that's only with Goldberg. So
Well, Goldberg's got the
ain't no one
license to
else,
kill. Let's
ain't
not
no one
even.
else going Arn Anderson on people besides Goldberg. Uh, but I mean, like, but we're getting there. Like that's the big thing is Hell in the Cell. Now it's gonna be interesting what they do afterwards because they're both on the same show. So it's like Edge and Browns are still gonna be around each other. Are they just gonna be like, oh, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Um,
I'm kind of ready for that to be over between Edge and Seth
yeah, yeah,
Rollins.
and I think so. I mean, they've done enough building up to it where this needs to be uh the end. And no, I mean, I it should come off way better than the end of Edge and Orton. So
Yes. Well, I mean, see, that's the thing with Edge and Orton. They had that feud. And they were together for a while.
mhm.
It's it wasn't. It didn't have quite the same weight, and maybe because it was COVID and WrestleMania was held
Right, right.
with no fans and all that stuff, and then of course their falls count anywhere, whatever match they had was just it was rough.
4 hour Iron Man match.
Yeah, that was rough. Yeah, and they reached the time limit.
We'll go back and watch WrestleMania 36 again.
Oof, oof, oof.
Jeez, a lot of things happened at WrestleMania. Uh,
Yeah, that was. I think COVID really fucked a lot of things up for WWE, for everyone really. But ultimately, what a great storyline. I'm glad how they're playing this off with Paul Heyman.
yeah, it's
It's
gonna
dope.
be yeah. I can't wait to. Oh man, I don't know.
And this is what happens when stories are good, when they actually have stakes, when they're believable, when they're sincere, and when you can play with them. This is what it feels like when storylines actually work out in the WWE.
Hmm.
You look forward to the match. It doesn't matter if it's predetermined, and none of those things matter because you're invested in the match. So I'm loving it, and that's not a McDonald's commercial.